Part 21. Dominating the Powerful Families, Rebirth of the Strongest Divinator. Author, Long Ju. Chapter 201. Before Shen Tianxing responded, Dugu Zixi said to the side, "Mom, please don't embarrass Yao Xing. She won't go home to celebrate the new year before she marries into our family. Shen's father will definitely not be able to explain it." Yaningning glared at her son, deliberately smiled and teased him, "Hey, look at how much you love your wife. She's already protecting her before she even gets married." Dugu Zixi said matter-of-factly, "That's necessary. My wife, if I don't love her, who will?" The whole family laughed again at Dugu Zixi's natural domineering and arrogant behavior. Shen Tianxing also pinched him lightly, laughed and cursed in a low voice, "Don't be ashamed." But Dugu Zixi took her hand and held it with one hand, while playing with her jade-like white fingers with the other hand, as if she couldn't put it down. When Shen Tianxing met the ambiguous smiling eyes of Mr. Dugu and Mrs. Dugu, as well as his future father-in-law and mother-in-law, he couldn't help but blush. She wanted to take her hand out, but Dugu Zixi refused to let go. Shen Tianxing glared at him helplessly. In the end, she could only let him hold her hand tightly and continue to rub and squeeze it, making her want to reach out and pinch his face. Shen Tianxing made a mental note of his debt, thinking that he would slowly recover the debt and interest he owed when he entered space at night. After Shen Tianxing had another warm dinner at Dugu's house, he said goodbye to the Dugu family and returned to the life space with Dugu Zixi. After returning to space, Shen Tianxing asked about the handling of those three scum. Speaking of those three scum, Dugu Zixi's King Jun's eyebrows flashed with a hint of coldness. "These three scum are because Aunt Wei is good looking and there are no men in the family. They think that orphans and widowed mothers are easy to bully. Only then, under the instigation of others, did I find Aunt Wei." When Shen Tianxing heard that there was someone behind these three scumbags, he was shocked again and asked in a deep voice, "Who is behind these three scumbags to instigate them to harm others?" Dugu Zixi replied, "It's an old classmate of Aunt Wei, named Yao Pingping. Yao Pingping has always been jealous of Aunt Wei because she is prettier than her. He also thinks that Aunt Wei can marry into the Ning family and have a good life. And she has nothing. Yao Pingping, who has a twisted heart, has always wanted Aunt Wei to die. She also happens to be renting in Aunt Wei's community. After accidentally learning that Aunt Wei is in trouble, she encourages the gangsters who live in the same community to attack Aunt Wei. The idea, that's what happened today." Shen Tianxing asked again, "What about this woman?" Dugu Zixi snorted coldly, "Of course they were arrested, so don't worry, none of those who should have gone in can escape, and this will save them scum from coming out to harm others again." When Shen Tianxing heard what he said, he was satisfied. He stepped forward and kissed his cheek. "Zixi, thank you for your hard work." Dugu Zixi was dissatisfied with the perfunctory kiss, so he held her in his arms, lowered his head and kissed her on the lips. He was also very measured, just kissed her briefly, and then let her go. Shen Tianxing thought of the business of health elixirs and beauty luxury goods that Mrs. Dugu had mentioned before, so he pulled Dugu Zixi to work with her again. Dugu Zixi is responsible for refining the health elixir. She was responsible for picking petals from the space to refine those petal essential oils, beauty creams, beauty masks, etc. The two of them were busy in the space until the next day, New Year's Eve morning. Shen Tianxing looked at the piles of health pills and beauty products in the space, and couldn't help but happily hug Dugu Zixi and smiled. "Zixi, looking at these things, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of banknotes coming towards me. Come here, our Xingzi Charity Foundation won't have to worry about running out of money." Dugu Zixi looked at her with a smile and pinched her cheek. "Silly girl, how much money do you want? My husband will earn it for you." Shen Tianxing was amused by him and giggled, "This is modern times. You are still a husband. If you want to be heard, you must not laugh at you to death." Dugozixi said seriously, I only tell you these words. Seeing the deep affection in his eyes, Shen Tianxing blushed again and said coquettishly, Dugozixi, your mouth is getting sweeter and sweeter now, and I can't stand it anymore. Dugozixi chuckled softly, then don't resist, madam, just accept your husband. Ha 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 ha. Shen Tianxing punched him hard, you big bad guy. The two of them laughed and joked in the space for a while. Shen Tianxing listened to the noise outside and said to him, my father and mother are already up. I have to go out to help them prepare things for the new year. You should go out as well. Come on, Xiao Zixi, see you tonight. After Shen Tianxing finished speaking, he gave him another kiss on the cheek, then gave him a playful and clever smile, and he suddenly disappeared. Dugozixi felt that her arms suddenly became empty, and her heart seemed to be empty. She sighed helplessly and could only leave the space resignedly. There is no New Year's Eve this year. The 29th of this year becomes the last day of the year. Li Xiaoxia was making breakfast in the kitchen. When she saw Shen Tianxing coming downstairs, she asked with concern, Xiaoxing, why did you get up so early? Why don't you sleep a little longer? Shen Tianxing smiled and stepped forward to hold Li Xiaoxia's hand, rubbed his head on her arm affectionately, and said with a smile, Mom, I want to get up early and help you fry meatballs and rice cakes. Li Xiaoxia knew that the food made by Shen Tianxing was delicious, so she was not polite at all and said with a smile, that's just right. What you cook is much more delicious than what I cook. Today, my mother will leave this difficult task to you. Shen Tianxing saluted her playfully, okay. Keep completing the mission. Li Xiaoxia looked at her lovingly and said with a smile, how come you are becoming more and more naughty as you get older? Shen Tianxing looked at her innocently, did I? I didn't think so. Li Xiaoxia watched her daughter talking, rolling up her sleeves, washing her hands and starting to work. She felt really warm in her heart. This precious daughter of hers is beautiful, sensible, and capable. She is really as good as she sees fit. Every year when she worships God on New Year's Eve and the first day of the new year, Li Xiaoxia will use the most pious attitude to thank God. Shen Tianxing sent it to their home and thanked God for giving them the happy life they have now. In fact, it was not just Li Xiaoxia who was thanking God for giving her this precious daughter, Shen Tianxing. Shen Tianxing also thanked God in her heart for allowing her to have so many relatives who loved her in this life, as well as her beloved master in all previous lives. Shen Tianxing also hopes that every year in the future can be like now, and the family can live happily, safely, and healthily, and everything goes well. Dominating the Powerful Families, Rebirth of the Strongest Divinator. Author, Long Juyu. Chapter 202. The Shen family's New Year's Eve dinner has been held at Shen Tianxing's home since the second year since Shen Tianxing became a lucky star in the family. From Mr. Shen and his wife, to the eldest uncle Shen Wenjun's family, the second uncle Shen Wenzhen's family, and Shen Tianxing's family, they all stayed together. They are also very willing to reunite at Shen Tianxing's house. After all, during the Chinese New Year, her house has the most delicious food that people can't stop eating. Therefore, the Shen family's New Year's Eve dinner every year, as well as the Spring Festival Gala and Vigil every year, are particularly lively. Shen Tianxing likes the New Year atmosphere at home very much. The four cousins studying in the capital, except for the second cousin Shen Tianzi who is on duty during the New Year, the third cousin Shen Tianbo from the eldest uncle's family, the fourth cousin Shen Tianyu and the fifth cousin Shen Tianrui from the second uncle's family are also back for the new year. The second cousin Shen Tianzi now works in the Kyoto military region. When his first cousin and Fu Chaoying got married, he had already asked for leave and came back. During the new year, when it was someone else's turn to take a vacation, he would stay on duty. If he couldn't come back to celebrate the new year, he would be on duty. I have no choice but to make a phone call and wish everyone a happy new year. Now, apart from happy events, The only time this big family can gather together is during the Chinese New Year. In a few years, when several other cousins have graduated and are working and getting married, it may be harder for such a big family to reunite. However, there is nothing we can do about it. When the goshawk grows up, it is natural to fly away from the nest and spread its wings in the vast sky. So do people. As soon as her cousins arrived at her house, they first came to see Shen Tianxing. Firstly, they came to her to learn martial arts. Secondly, they also wanted to exchange feelings with Shen Tianxing. They were afraid that their dear sister would be kidnapped and they would forget about them if they didn't see them for a long time. In terms of martial arts competition, Shen Tianxing tortured them again in order to maintain their ambition and stop them from being proud. She made them deeply understand what there is heaven outside the sky, and there are people outside the world. They are really top-notch experts outside, but in front of the powerful Shen Tianxing, they always feel that they are just low-level warriors with low martial arts value. In terms of communicating feelings, Shen Tianxing knew that all of his cousins were also big foodies, so he gave each of them a lot of food and drink, as well as some medicinal liquids and elixirs for improving physical fitness and force value. They couldn't be happier. The gratitude they felt towards Shen Tianxing could no longer be described in words. It should be said that even if it cost them their lives, they would give it to her without hesitation. Each of them also brought gifts to Shen Tianxing, a good sister. Gifts for the New Year and her birthday every year were indispensable. Usually if they see something good, they will buy it, or find a way to get it and send it to her by express delivery. Although they are cousins and not yet close, they are really closer than many biological brothers and sisters. Shen Tianxing has always kept in mind their love for him since childhood, and naturally he spared no effort to benefit them. Everyone sits together during the New Year, and the topics the elders talk about are nothing more than caring about the children's studies, work, and making friends. As soon as the eldest cousin got married, the eldest aunt Ma Hongying and the second aunt set their sights on the second and third cousins. Second cousin Shen Tianzi celebrated the New Year and was already 26 years old. However, this time he did not go home to celebrate the New Year and successfully escaped the forced marriage. The third cousin Shen Tianbo is also 24 years old this year and will graduate from college soon. Everyone also asked about his dating status and when he planned to get married. The third cousin, Shen Tianbo, answered on the ground, "You'd better deal with the second brother first. It's still early for me. After I graduate this year, I plan to continue my master's degree. The tutor has already reserved this place for me. After I finish my studies, master's degree, I'm still going to study for a PhD, so you don't have to think about getting married for me before I graduate." Ma Hongying glared at her younger son fiercely, "It's okay if you don't get married, but you should find a girlfriend for us first, so that we can feel at ease." Third cousin Shen Tianbo's character has always been naughty and mischievous since he was a child. When he heard his mother Ma Hongying's words, he suddenly smiled playfully and said, "Mom, you still don't know my virtue. To be honest, these female friends who like me have a strengthened ranking. It's not that I can't find a girlfriend, I'm just being picky." Everyone was amused by him and laughed again. He really didn't mean to brag. As a handsome boy with first-class looks, first-class figure, and good skills, Shen Tianbo was really a man of the hour at their National Defense University. I don't know how many elementary school girls at the National Defense University are obsessed with him and have been clamoring to be his girlfriend. There are also many who are chasing him every day, saying that they want to give him a monkey. Ma Hongying looked at her youngest son who was so embarrassed and pretending to be helpless. She smiled angrily and spat at him, "Don't just blow the whistle. You are so capable, so bring one back to me. Ah. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha." Shen Tianxing also laughed and fell on her fifth cousin Shen Tianrui, who was sitting next to her. "Oh, I can't do it anymore. My stomach hurts from laughing so hard. Ha ha ha, third brother is so funny. Shen Tianbo glanced at Shen Tianxing, and said to Shen Tianxing with a sad look on his face, "Little Xing, don't you feel sorry for the third brother? You still laugh like this, it really hurts my heart, woo." Shen Tianxing said mercilessly, "Third brother, I think you have no talent for acting. Your acting is too fake. I still like your heartless look, ha ha ha." At this time, her eldest aunt Ma Hongying said something else, "Xiao Xing, how about you do the math for your second brother and this third brother, when will something good happen to them?" Shen Tianbo quickly sat up straight and said to Shen Tianxing, "Xiao Xing, you can count the second brother, but don't do it for me. You have calculated the result so early, can there be any surprises in life?" But Ma Hongying slapped the table and said domineeringly to Shen Tianxing, "Xiao Xing, count for me. Count the second and third children for me." She turned to Shen Tianbo and said, "Lao San, if you don't want to know the result, you can go out and cool down for me first, and we can listen to it ourselves." Shen Tianbo looked helpless, unable to deal with his mother, so he had to plead with Shen Tianxing with his hands clasped together, "Good sister, don't count me, don't count me." Ma Hongying kicked her over and said, "If you don't want to hear it, get out of here. Get out." Shen Tianbo gently caressed the calf that was sore from her kick, looked at Ma Hongying with a sad face and said, "Mom, are you still my biological mother? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dominating the Powerful Families, Rebirth of the Strongest Divinator. Author, Long Juyu. Chapter 203. Ma Hongying ignored him and just looked at Shen Tianxing eagerly, hoping that Shen Tianxing would calculate a good result for her smoothly like the boss's marriage, and then she would be happy. Shen Tianxing spread her hands to her third cousin Shen Tianbo, who had been gesturing towards her, expressing her helplessness. Then, she pulled out the birth date of her second cousin Shen Tianzi in her mind, and started counting with her fingers. Shen Tianxing has memorized the horoscopes of all the Shen family members from Mr. Shen down. She was also preparing for any eventuality. If something happens to a family member one day, with the birth date and horoscope, she can calculate their fortune and whereabouts in time. When Shen Tianxing calculated the marriage outcome of her second cousin Shen Tianzi, her heart suddenly tightened. Lonely life. The second cousin, Shen Tianzi, turned out to be a lonely man. No. Impossible. The second cousin's fate was not like this before. Moreover, Shen Tianxing is protecting the Shen family, and everyone's luck is very good. There is no way that second cousin Shen Tianzi is destined to be a lonely old man. What went wrong? Shen Tianxing thought at first that she had made a mistake in her calculations. She calculated it carefully again, but she still found this unacceptable fate. Shen Tianxing's face instantly darkened. She once again calculated other aspects of her second cousin Shen Tianzi's affairs. As expected, second cousin Shen Tianzi's luck became weaker and weaker the further she calculated it. At the end of the calculation, his hexagram actually showed great misfortune. This ominous hexagram means that the second cousin Shen Tianzi not only has bad luck, but in the end, he may not even be able to save his life. Shen Tianxing looked at this frightening hexagram and became even more sure that something must have happened to her second cousin Shen Tianzi. Everyone who was talking and laughing at first saw that Shen Tianxing's face was becoming more and more serious, so they all closed their mouths and did not dare to speak anymore. When Shen Tianxing put down his hand, Ma Hongying suppressed the fear and worry in her heart and asked her carefully, "Xiao Xing, will there be any problems with your second brother's marriage? Today is New Year's Eve, and Shen Tianxing doesn't want this incident to spoil everyone's mood. She will definitely find a way to solve the second brother's matter. She will take the life of anyone who dares to take the life of her family." When Shen Tianxing thought of this, the smile returned to her face, and she said tactfully to Ma Hongying and everyone, "Second brother is fine, but his relationship is a bit bumpy. The marriage may be a little later, don't worry." Hearing Shen Tianxing's words, Ma Hongying breathed a sigh of relief. "Oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I saw you looking so serious, Xiao Xing, and it really shocked me. I thought your second brother was out of touch. What's going on?" Shen Tianxing smiled at her comfortingly. It's okay, uncle, don't scare yourself. If you are scared, I will be guilty." Everyone saw Shen Tianxing's face just now, and they thought that if something bad happened, they might not be able to live a good life this year. Now even Ma Hongying no longer pursues Shen Tianxing to find the marriage of the third child, Shen Tianbo. Shen Tianbo seemed to have escaped, and he took a long breath. But when he looked at Shen Tianxing, a deep thought flashed through his quiet eyes. With her second cousin Shen Tianzi's affairs in front of her, Shen Tianxing was secretly thinking that she would have to calculate the luck of her family this year. If something really went wrong, she had better take precautions in time to avoid being like her second cousin. If Ma Hongying hadn't insisted on calculating their brother's marriage today, she wouldn't have been able to discover the abnormality on her second cousin's side. This can also be regarded as a dangerous warning. It also let her know that no matter what time, there will always be people who are blind. Just like now, there are still people who dare to attack the Shen family. They are really looking for death. The atmosphere at home quickly became lively again due to Shen Tianxing's deliberate humor. The Shen family has a new member this year, Fu Chaoying. It was also the first time for Fu Chaoying to celebrate the new year in the Shen family. She felt that the Shen family's large family had an unusually lively atmosphere. It was really incomparable to the Fu family's previous New Year celebrations. She likes the Shen family very much, a harmonious, friendly, and very united big family. The Shen family also took good care of her as a new member, and took the initiative to bring her to talk with them, so that she could quickly integrate into them. Shen Tianrui also takes good care of his newlywed wife. He feels that life with a wife is really enjoyable. No wonder those colleagues who were married in the past liked to laugh at them as singles, saying that they didn't know the benefits of having a woman, and that when they got married, they would know what they meant. Now that he was married, he really understood what they meant. A good wife, good children, and a hot bed, this is the happy life that most men dream of. After the lively New Year's Eve dinner, everyone sat in the big living room, preparing to watch the Spring Festival Gala, eating melon seeds and chatting. Third cousin Shen Tianbo quietly pulled Shen Tianxing outside and asked her in a low voice, "Xiao Xing, when you did your fortune telling just now, did you predict that something bad would happen to your second brother?" Shen Tianxing glanced at him sideways and denied it directly. "No, I told you, the second brother just wants to get married later, it's nothing. Then I will get a peach blossom charm for the second brother and try to get him married as soon as possible. Let you all rest assured as soon as possible, okay?" Shen Tianbo put away his usual cynicism, looked at Shen Tianxing seriously and said, "Xiao Xing, I know there must be something going on with the second brother, don't hide it from me." Shen Tianxing sighed softly, looked at him equally seriously and said, "Third brother, I promise you, there will definitely be nothing wrong with my second brother, okay?" Shen Tianbo still didn't believe it. "Really?" Shen Tianxing nodded firmly, "Really?" Seeing Shen Tianxing's expression of refusing to say anything even to death, Shen Tianbo had no choice but to do anything to her. "Okay. If you don't want to say it, I won't force you, but, Xiao Xing, you have to remember that our old Shen family, whatever happens, it's not your business alone, it's all of ours. Each of us can and should contribute. You shouldn't be left alone to shoulder this burden of the old Shen family." "What do you mean?" Shen Tianxing felt warm in his heart after listening to his words. She nodded vigorously. "Third brother, I know. I know that each of you feels sorry for me and loves me. I also love you very much. I don't want anything to happen to any of you. You can protect me in order to protect me, I will do my best, I can also do my best to protect you. Dominating the Powerful Families, Rebirth of the Strongest Divinator. Author, Long Juyu. Chapter 204. Shen Tianbo looked at her with moved eyes, suddenly stretched out his hands, hugged Shen Tianxing hard into his arms, and said with choked sobs, Xiao Xing, we all love you too. Because of this, the third brother doesn't want to see, you have lived too hard for us, and we don't want to be a burden to you, do you understand? Shen Tianxing patted his back gently, I understand, third brother, I really understand how much you love me. I will do my best and will never let anything happen to me. Shen Tianbo sighed softly, I know that your ideas have always been right. Well, I won't say more. As long as you remember, we will always stand by your side. You can see us as long as you turn around. Listening to his warm words, Shen Tianxing's eyes welled up with mist, and he nodded vigorously towards him, third brother, I know, I know. Shen Tianbo let her go. His handsome face returned to his signature cynical smile, okay, let's go back and get ready. Let's set off the fireworks later. Shen Tianxing also smiled and responded, okay. Every New Year's Eve, when the Shen family welcomes the new year, they will set off fireworks for half an hour, not only to feast their eyes on their own family, but also to allow the people around them to share joy and happiness with them. Fireworks are very beautiful. Although they disappear in an instant, they leave the most beautiful moment in people's hearts, and people will always remember its stunning and nostalgic beauty in that moment. Before midnight on the first day of the new year arrived, Shen Tianxing's cell phone kept ringing with messages of New Year greetings from relatives, friends, and classmates. Du Guzixi's call came at 59 minutes. After that, he kept controlling her cell phone and wouldn't let her hang up. He kept chatting with her until midnight, and after he said Happy New Year to her, he reluctantly hung up the phone. In fact, he really wanted to be by her side, set off firecrackers with her, watch the fireworks together, and count down together to welcome the new year. Du Guixi decided to give her a surprise once she entered the space. As Shen Tianxing listened to the sound of firecrackers and fireworks ringing in her ears, as well as the laughter around her, she seemed to feel that the flowers in her heart were blooming happily. After watching the New Year's Eve and setting off the fireworks, everyone said good night after a tiring day and went back to their rooms to rest. Shen Tianxing returned to his room, went to the bathroom to wash his face, and then stepped into the space. When she came in, Du Guixi was already waiting for her in the space. As soon as he saw Shen Tianxing coming in, he happily held her hand and said, "Come on, Xiao Xing, let's set off the fireworks and see the fireworks that belong only to the two of us." Shen Tianxing was pulled to the lake in space by him, and saw that there were a lot of fireworks placed on the beach by the lake. They were arranged in rows, very neatly, and looked very spectacular. Shen Tianxing counted carefully, and there were 9 in all directions. The meaning he wanted was that 2 people would last forever. Du Guixi reached out and cast a spell, changing part of the sky in the space into the pattern of a dark night starry sky. Then, he asked Shen Tianxing to sit next to him, and he was responsible for using the fireball technique. A smaller fire light fell on the burning line of the fireworks, instantly igniting the rows of fireworks. A boom sound. Beautiful fireworks exploded in the sky instantly. One after another, they bloomed in the night sky and fell into Shen Tianxing's eyes. They really felt so beautiful, so beautiful. Shen Tianxing looked at the figure who was busy trying to please her, his clear eyes were filled with deep love, and the corners of his beautiful lips also evoked a happy smile. This is a firework that belongs to both of them, so beautiful. Very good too. After all the fireworks were set off, Du Guixi cast a cleansing spell on herself, then returned to Shen Tianxing, held her hand and asked, "Xiao Xing, do you like it?" Shen Tianxing nodded vigorously, leaned forward to kiss him again, smiled and said to him, "I like it. I like it very much. Zixi, thank you for bringing me so much joy and happiness." Dugu Zixi hugged her, kissed her forehead gently, and said in a low voice, "I should be the one to say thank you. Thank you for staying with me no matter in the past life or in this life. Xiao Xing, where you are is my happiness." The two hugged each other tightly and didn't speak for a long time, letting this warm and happy atmosphere tightly wrap their bodies and minds. The second day of the new year. Dugu Zixi carried large and small bags to Shen's house to pay New Year's greetings to her future father-in-law and mother-in-law. Dugu Zixi's performance can be said to be perfect and impeccable. Even Shen Wenru wanted to find something wrong with him to prevent his daughter from marrying him, but he couldn't find it. He could only admit defeat in his heart to this almost perfect son-in-law to be. After this happy year, everyone's life is back on track, going to school and working. As for Shen Tianxing, after arranging the work of the Xingzi Charitable Foundation, he went directly from space to the capital with Dugu Zixi. This time, she came to solve the strange thing that happened to her second cousin Shen Tianzi. Before she came, she warned her second cousin that he had been having bad luck recently and had made some mistakes, so she told him to be careful. Shen Tianzi looks gentle, elegant, and handsome, but he is also a very careful person. He also always felt uncomfortable during this period, as if everything was wrong, but he couldn't figure out what the problem was. As soon as he received a call from Shen Tianxing this time and heard her reminder and that she would come to Beijing to find him in person to help him solve the problem, Shen Tianxi's heart skipped a beat. Like all the Shen family members, he was very aware of Xiaoxing's abilities, and it would definitely not be a small thing to have her come for him in person. Shen Tianzi also wondered in his heart, who wanted to harm him? Why harm him? Could it be that he was blocking the way for others to move forward? Although Shen Tianzi wanted to go check it out, Shen Tianxing had already reminded him not to move, and to wait until she came over to talk about everything. Shen Tianzi could only suppress the anxiety and anger in his heart, and went to and from get off work as usual without showing any trace. During this period, Shen Tianxing was calculating the safety of his second cousin Shen Tianzi every day. After knowing that nothing serious would happen to him for the time being, she spent the Lantern Festival at home before coming to the capital to help him solve the problem. After arriving in the capital, Shen Tianxing refused Dugu Zixi's company and went to the military area where Shen Tianzi was located alone. The main reason is that Dugu Zixi's face is so recognizable. There are probably not many people in the capital who don't know the young master Dugu of the president's family. If Shen Tianxing took him to find Shen Tianzi, I'm afraid that the person who harmed Shen Tianzi might have been frightened and retreated before she did anything. Dominating the Powerful Families, Rebirth of the Strongest Divinator. Author, Long Juyu. Chapter 205. Shen Tianxing had already calculated before that the people who harmed Shen Tianzi were the villains around him. But being able to make the smart and thoughtful Shen Tianzi not see anything strange about him only proves that the villain who harmed Shen Tianzi is also very clever. If that villain shrinks back after seeing Dugu Zixi appear and erases all traces of what he has done, then Shen Tianxing will definitely have to put a lot of effort into finding this villain again. That's why Shen Tianxing rejected Dugu Zixi and refused to let him accompany her. Dugu Zixi had no choice but to tell her to be careful and enter the space immediately if there was danger, or send him a message from thousands of miles away, and he would rush to her side immediately. Facing his earnest instructions, Shen Tianxing smiled and agreed one by one. Dugu Zixi reluctantly let her go and asked her family's driver to take her to the military area where Shen Tianzi was. When they arrived at the gate of the military area, Shen Tianxing asked the driver to go back first. In order not to attract attention, Shen Tianxing did not use the special pass given to her by Dugu Zixi. Instead, she used the most normal method of finding someone, went to the gate guards to register, and then explained to them that she was here to find Shen Tianzi. Shen Tianzi had contacted Shen Tianxing before, and also greeted the gate guards in advance and told them that his sister Shen Tianxing would come to see him today. Therefore, as soon as the gate guard heard that Shen Tianxing was here to see Shen Tianzi, he quickly called Shen Tianzi and informed him to come and pick him up. While waiting for her second cousin Shen Tianzi to come over, Shen Tianxing took out several packs of her homemade beef jerky from her backpack and gave them to the guards. "This is my homemade beef jerky. It's delicious. I'll give it to you to try." Shen Tianxing's smile was so sweet that the young guards on duty couldn't resist. They shyly saluted Shen Tianxing with a military salute and said, "Thank you." Shen Tianxing also smiled and replied, "You're welcome." Not long after, Shen Tianzi drove over in a military vehicle. He saw Shen Tianxing standing at the gate and shouted happily, "Xiaoxing." When Shen Tianxing saw him, he happily shouted, "Second brother." Shen Tianzi thanked several guards again, then led Shen Tianxing into the military vehicle and drove towards the army. Several young guards watched Shen Tianxing leave in the car, and then they exclaimed, "Captain Shen's sister is so beautiful. She is as beautiful as a little fairy. Yes, she is really beautiful, and her smile is sweet. When I saw her smiling just now, I felt like my heart was going to be drunk. If I had a girlfriend like this, I would be willing to shorten my life by 10 years. She had such a beautiful smile. I took one look at her just now and didn't dare to look at her again. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to take my eyes away again. She's a very nice person. Look, she even gave us homemade beef jerky. Do you think this little fairy's homemade beef jerky is also very delicious? Open a pack quickly, let's try the taste and find out." "Okay, let's give it a try." One of the guards opened a package of beef jerky, and the others took pieces of beef jerky and stuffed it into their mouths. Once they ate it, they realized how extraordinary this beef jerky was. "Hey, why is this beef jerky so delicious? It's fragrant, spicy, and has an endless aftertaste. I feel like I'm energetic after eating it. Hey, do you feel like this?" Yes, I also feel that I feel energetic after eating it. Do you think there is anything bad in this beef jerky? How is this possible? The beef jerky brought by the little fairy is intended for my brother to eat. Can she bring the beef jerky with the problem? That's how there could be a problem. If there is no problem, then this beef jerky really contains special energy. Can you feel more energetic after eating it? I think that's how it should be. Ouch, ouch, I'm going to put this bag away and save it for the critical moment to eat slowly. This bag is mine. That bag is mine. There's another pack, ha ha ha, I grabbed it, it's mine. You have a beautiful idea. Why can you take 2 bags? Hand it over obediently, otherwise, hey, you know how powerful we are. Seeing the other party waving his fist, another guard quickly took out the extra pack of beef jerky, but he snorted coldly and said, "I won't fight with you, but neither can this pack of beef jerky. It's only fair that we only give it to you and we and the brothers share it together. Divide it, hurry up, hurry up." Shen Tianxing didn't know yet that the beef jerky she left for several guards almost caused a fight among them. The beef jerky she makes is made from spiritual beef in space. It must taste very good. Spiritual beef does contain relatively high energy. People like them who exercise regularly can quickly absorb the energy inside. That's why I feel that this beef jerky is delicious and has high energy. What Shen Tianxing didn't expect was that through the intentional and unintentional publicity of these guards, the reputation of her and the beef jerky she made would soon spread. Everyone in the army knew that Shen Tianzi had a beautiful sister who looked like a little fairy and could make very delicious and refreshing beef jerky. Later, many men came up to Shen Tianzi and asked about Shen Tianxing's situation. They were all sent away directly by Shen Tianzi on the grounds that my sister has a fiancé. This is a later story. At this time, Shen Tianxing followed Shen Tianzi, reminding him first, and walked around his office. Then, the two went to his dormitory. Shen Tianzi lives in a single suite dormitory, a room of more than 30 square meters, with a small balcony, a bathroom, and not even a kitchen. If they really need to cook, they can only set up a shelf on the small balcony, put a gas stove on it, and use it as a kitchen. Shen Tianxing visited Shen Tianzi's office and dormitory, so she sat down with Shen Tianzi and asked him directly, "Second brother, according to the conditions I told you before, have you found any harm to you now, the target person?" Shen Tianzi pondered for a while before answering, "Xiao Xing, if we go by what you said and investigate based on the competitive relationship, the other person's birthplace, their relationship with me, and their degree of mystery, I will make a decision for the time being. There are 3 suspicious targets. As for which one of them did it, I have to wait for you, the little detective, to reveal the answer to me." Shen Tianxing smiled and said, "As long as you have a goal, please tell me all the information about these 3 people. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dominating the Powerful Families, Rebirth of the Strongest Divinator. Author, Long Juyu. Chapter 206. The first person who is most suspected is a native of southern Xinjiang. His name is Ba Dakin. Like me, he is a captain. He is also competing for the promotion to major this time. He usually has the best relationship with me. If you don't mention me, I will. If something goes wrong, if I don't list the conditions for investigation, I will never think of him. The second suspect, named Du Aguo, is from Western Sichuan. He is also a competitor for major this time. He has a good relationship with me. The third suspect, named Dongguo Tianli, is from Longhu Mountain. He is also a competitor for the major this time. He usually has a good relationship with me. Shen Tianxing nodded. The birthplaces of these 3 people were indeed places with many magical legends. In addition, they were in competition with the second brother, so they had the motive and purpose to attack. Shen Tianxing asked him again, "Second brother, do you have photos of the 3 of them in your hand?" Photo. Shen Tianzi shook his head, "No, you know, we soldiers have less time to go out and play, and we don't like taking pictures, so I don't have any photo albums or anything like that." Shen Tianxing thought for a while and said to him, "Then can you find a reason to call the 3 of them together? For example, you can say, 'Your sister, I am here and I have brought you a lot of delicious food. Invite a few of them to have dinner together at noon.' Of course, if you are afraid that they will be suspicious, you can also invite 2 or 3 more people and I will cook for you at noon." When Shen Tianzi heard Shen Tianxing talking about cooking, his eyes suddenly lit up when he thought of the delicious food he had always missed. "That's a good reason. Okay, I'll go tell them and ask them to come to my place for lunch at noon." Shen Tianxing did not miss the expectation in his eyes, and couldn't help but smile. "Second brother, go and inform them quickly. I'm going to prepare now, so I should be able to make it in time." Shen Tianzi immediately stood up and said, "Okay, then you go ahead and get busy, otherwise my second brother won't be polite to you." Shen Tianxing smiled and pushed him out. Go, you are still not my second brother, and you are being polite to me." After Shen Tianzi left, Shen Tianxing took out some prepared sauce meat from the space and laid it out. She took out some more pork, beef, fish, vegetables, fruits, etc., and quickly started to prepare lunch. Shen Tianzi had a cooking rack set up here, but unfortunately, he used a single burner gas stove. Shen Tianxing is used to cooking in space and the spacious kitchen at home. When cooking in this small place, there are many things that have no place to put. He always feels that his hands are tied and he can't let go of his hands and feet. Thinking that it would take at least half an hour or an hour for the second brother to inform them, Shen Tianxing simply closed the door of the second brother's dormitory and went directly into the space to cook. There is a lot of space for cooking, so her hands and feet are flexible, and she can cast spells and start cooking on several stoves at the same time. Before Shen Tianzi came back, Shen Tianxing had already come out of the space and set up the big round table in his dormitory. The large round table was quickly filled with dishes, and the entire room was filled with a strong, mouth-watering aroma of vegetables and meat. The aroma of vegetables and meat also drifted out along the window and spread far away, making everyone who smelled it drool. They also asked each other, "Whose dish is this today? Why is it so fragrant? What a glutton!" Before Shen Tianzi returned to the dormitory, he smelled the very familiar aroma of vegetables and meat downstairs that he had been missing, and he even walked back to the dormitory a little faster. In his eyes, this precious sister of his family is really a perfect goddess. In his impression, there seemed to be nothing that Shen Tianxing couldn't do, including piano, chess, calligraphy, painting, cooking, embroidery, etc. As for cultivation, let alone it. These cousins and two younger cousins were all trained by this precious sister. Even they couldn't tell how high her cultivation was. When Shen Tianxing saw Shen Tianzi coming back, he quickly asked, "Second brother, do they agree to come?" Shen Tianzi smiled softly and said, "If there's something delicious, I'll definitely come. You'll have to watch carefully in a while. If this person isn't caught, your second brother won't be able to sleep well." Shen Tianxing glanced at him, "Second brother, this is not a matter of whether you can sleep peacefully or not. This is a big issue related to your life. Otherwise, why would I come all the way from home to come here? Will I save you?" Shen Tianzi looked at her with gratitude. "Xiao Xing, second brother won't say any words of thanks. In short, my life is yours. As long as you say a word, even if you go up the mountain of knives or go down into the sea of fire, the second brother will not be able to say anything 2 words." Shen Tianxing smiled and deliberately teased him, "Okay, I'll remember it. When I want you to go to Daoshan in the future, you can't make excuses not to go." Shen Tianzi also joked with her, "I will definitely not make excuses. Otherwise, you can whip me however you want." The brother and sister didn't chat for long before guests started arriving one after another. The first man who walked in was a tall and powerful middle-aged man. He was wearing a neat military uniform, and a compelling sense of righteousness and dignity naturally exuded from his body. Shen Tianzi was obviously surprised by his arrival. He didn't invite the military commander to come over. But he reacted quickly and greeted him with a smile, "Commander, why are you here? It just so happened that my sister came today and specially cooked a meal for me, so I called a few brothers come and eat together. Will you join us?" Chen Weihun is the commander of Shen Tianzi's military department. He is also an insider who knows Shen Tianxing's true identity. After receiving a report from his subordinates that Shen Tianxing, Shen Tianzi's sister, had arrived to see Shen Tianzi, Chen Weihun counted the time and quietly came over, wanting to say hello to Shen Tianxing. Although Shen Tianxing did not directly state his identity, how could they be just ordinary people who could sit in high-ranking positions in the treasured land of Kyoto? The upper-class people living in Kyoto all know that if a brick falls casually in the 4-9 city, it can hit a high-ranking ministerial official. If your moves in these 4-9 cities are not bright enough, you may hit the iron plate every minute, and your life's efforts may be wasted in an instant. Chen Weihun occasionally pays attention to Shen Tianzi's situation, but the people above have also warned him not to let ordinary people know about Shen Tianzi's situation, so that they should not leak it out and let him use his talents according to his actual ability. This is Shen Tianxing's request. She has always felt that the Shen family should be proud and capable. Whatever you want, go for it yourself and don't think about taking any backdoors or shortcuts. Dominating the powerful families, Rebirth of the Strongest Divinator. Author, Long Juyu. Chapter 207. If they can't even do this, then their future cultivation path will only stop here, and there will definitely be no big development. She didn't want the relatives she had painstakingly cultivated to accompany her on such a short journey. If Shen Tianxing hadn't spoken out, given that the president, Yaningning, Mr. and Mrs. Dugu, and Dugu Xixi's family all loved her so much, they would have loved Wujaiwu and put the capable Shen, the second brother of the family, carried it up. And Shen Tianxing's polite rejection also made them look at the Shen family members more highly. They are not as greedy as some people, and they have never thought about taking advantage of their Dugu family. They are really brave. Such a capable and proud person deserves respect and admiration from everyone at any time. Although they do have the right to adjust Shen Tianxi's position, it is not a glorious thing to go through the back door. Once someone exposes it, it will not be a good thing for them or Shen Tianxi. Chen Weihun shook hands with Shen Tianxi warmly, then deliberately pretended not to recognize Shen Tianxing, and turned to Shen Tianxi and said, "Tianxi, is this your sister? The little girl is really pretty, lithe, like a little fairy." "Same. Yes, Commander, this is my sister Shen Tianxing." After Shen Tianxi replied, he quickly introduced Chen Weihun to Shen Tianxing. "Xiao Xing, this is Major General Chen Weihun, the commander of our army." Shen Tianxing nodded slightly towards Chen Weihun and said with a generous smile, "Hello, Commander Chen. It's rare to meet by chance like this. If Commander Chen doesn't dislike it, come and have a meal with us." Chen Weihun felt happy when he heard Shen Tianxing's invitation. What he was waiting for was her words. He quickly said, "I don't dislike it, I don't dislike it." He turned to the guard outside the door and shouted, "Xiao Zhao, go to my office and get the 2 bottles of Maotai I have hidden." Shen Tianxi quickly reminded him, "Commander, they have to train in the afternoon." Chen Weihun waved his hand boldly, it's okay, I'm here. I'll give you a few special afternoons off for special matters, okay?" He has said so, can Shen Tianxi say no? As soon as Chen Weihun sat down, Shen Tianxi's regiment leader Pei Ziming and political commissar Jin Yuhang also came over. They were invited over for dinner by Shen Tianxi, and they were not sure about Shen Tianxing's true identity. At the original engagement feast between Shen Tianxing and Dugu Zixi, their regiment-level cadres were not qualified to attend. But they have all read reports about Shen Tianxing and Dugu Zixi's engagement in newspapers and news. As soon as they entered the door, they were stunned for a moment when they saw the military commander standing there. Seeing Shen Tianxing sitting next to him, with his familiar and beautiful face, Pei Ziming and Jin Yuhang immediately understood the reason why the commander was here. Shen Tianxing, Pei Ziming, and Jin Yuhang thought of their names, and then thought that Shen Tianxi said that his sister was here and invited them over for lunch. At this moment, they secretly cursed Shen Tianxi in their hearts, this guy is so well hidden. With such a strong backing, he didn't even say a word and just worked silently in their group. Although Pei Ziming and Jin Yuhang were slandering Shen Tianxi in their hearts, they remained silent on the surface and saluted the commander, "Hello, Commander." Chen Weihun looked at them and laughed and said, "You two guys, did you come here when you smelled the aroma of the meat?" Pei Ziming and Jin Yuhang smiled and said, "Yes, the aroma of this vegetable and meat is really amazing. I heard a lot of people muttering downstairs, who made this dish? It is so fragrant." Chen Weihun waved his hands towards them, "Okay, sit down and talk." Shen Tianxi quickly introduced Shen Tianxing and them to each other, "Xiao Xing, these two are the leader of our army, Pei Ziming, and this is the political commissar Jin Yuhang. Regiment leader, political commissar, this is my sister Shen Tianxing." Shen Tianxing stood up first, smiled and saluted them back, "Hello, sirs." Pei Ziming and Jin Yuhang also pretended not to recognize Shen Tianxing's identity, and smiled and saluted Shen Tianxing, "Hello, Comrade Shen." Shen Tianxing greeted them with a smile. Regiment leader and political commissar, please take a seat. Okay, okay. Pei Ziming and Jin Yuhang sat beside Chen Weihun, one on the left and one on the right. Immediately afterwards, the three most important people that Shen Tianzi really wanted to invite entered the door together. Shen Tianxing opened his eyes and scanned their bodies directly. Shen Tianzi also introduced her. The thin man who walked in first was Du Aguo, a native of western Sichuan. The person who followed him through the door was Dongguo Tianli from Longhu Mountain. The auras on both of them were very clean, and Shen Tianxing ruled them out as suspects at the first opportunity. No matter who it is, as long as they have done evil or bad things, they cannot escape her eyes. The last person to enter was Badachin from southern Xinjiang. Badachin is about 1.7 meters tall, with a strong build and a very honest face. He has a naive smile on his face, but there is a trace of coldness and ruthlessness hidden in his eyes. The aura on his body also carried an evil aura. When Shen Tianxing's eyes fell on his head, his heart suddenly froze. This guy is really a cruel and vicious person. He dared to use his own body as a formation plate and set up a formation on his head. This formation was an evil and vicious luck-gathering formation. The luck-gathering formation, as the name suggests, is to extract the luck of the people around him and concentrate it all on him, allowing him to embark on a prosperous official career, abundant financial resources, and a powerful road. And those people whose luck is absorbed by him will have their luck decline. When their luck is completely absorbed by him, these people who have no luck will also die miserably. When B.A. Dakin sat down on the table, Shen Tianxing's eyes saw that the good luck of the people on the table was all flowing towards B.A. Dakin's head. Shen Tianzi had the best relationship with him, so Shen Tianzi's luck was absorbed by him the fastest. A cold murderous intent flashed in Shen Tianxing's eyes. Her fingers lightly pinched the magic formula under the table, instantly blocking B.A. Dakin's luck-gathering formation, preventing him from absorbing their luck in the future. Shen Tianxing also silently planted a spell to dissolve the formation in his brain. In 3 days, B.A. Dakin's luck-gathering formation would disintegrate. After the luck-gathering array is disintegrated, the luck he absorbed will be dispersed and returned to the original owner. Once the harmful formation is dismantled, the person who set up the formation will definitely suffer backlash. Dominating the Powerful Families, Rebirth of the Strongest Divinator. Author, Long Juyu. Chapter 208. If Shen Tianxing was right, there must be an evil monk behind B.A. Dakin. This evil cultivator definitely had no good intentions when he set up the luck-gathering formation for Badachin. Now that the luck-gathering formation has been cracked by Shen Tianxing, the person who set up the formation is bound to suffer backlash. I just don't know who this person hiding behind Badachin could be. When Shen Tianxing cast a spell on B.A. Dakin also sensed it immediately. His luck-gathering formation actually malfunctioned. Badachin didn't know what was going on, but now he couldn't leave and couldn't ask his master. He could only suppress his anxiety and continue to eat and drink with them. Shen Tianxing couldn't help but sneer secretly in his heart when he saw B.A. Dakin unable to eat and fidgeting in front of this table of delicious food. Those who harm others will eventually harm themselves. Shen Tianxing deliberately set the day for the liberation of the formation in 3 days, just to fish out the evil cultivator behind B.A. Dakin. The people present tonight, except for Badachin who was restless, all ate and drank with open stomachs. They were very happy with the delicious food. Shen Tianxing was not polite to them. He chatted and laughed with Chen Weihun, Pei Ziming, and Jin Yuhang, and drank a few glasses of wine. Not surprisingly, Shen Tianxing's delicious food conquered this group of grown men in the army. They also deliberately teased Shen Tianxing and asked her to come visit her relatives more often so that they could also enjoy the benefits and enjoy the delicious food she cooked. Shen Tianxing also laughed and said that she would come to visit them when she had time. After they all left, Shen Tianxing said to Shen Tianzi, "Second brother, the person who took away your luck is Dakin. However, I guess there is someone behind him. Don't move for now. Wait until I get behind him, we'll find that evil cultivator later. Shen Tianzi nodded and rubbed her head gently. Okay, Xiao Xing, thank you for your hard work. It's not hard. After Shen Tianxing smiled, he made a silent gesture towards Shen Tianzi. She has been monitoring Badakin's movements with her consciousness. After seeing Dakin return to the dormitory, he immediately took out his mobile phone and made a call. Hey, Master, it's not good, there seems to be something wrong with the luck gathering array on my body. Shen Tianxing quickly attached his spiritual consciousness to Dakin's microphone. She heard a hoarse old male voice asking, "What's wrong?" Badakin replied respectfully, "Master, it's my luck gathering formation. It seemed like it couldn't absorb other people's luck just now. It seemed like it stopped suddenly." The old man asked again, "What were you doing when you felt the luck gathering formation stopped absorbing?" Badakin replied, "At that time, I was having dinner with the military commander, regimental commander, political commissar of our regiment, several colleagues, and the sister of a colleague." The old man continued to ask, "Could it be your colleague's sister who attacked you?" Badakin quickly shook his head, "It's impossible. She looks only 12 or 13 years old, and she looks very simple." The old man snorted coldly, "A person should not be judged by his appearance. Have you forgotten this? Okay, I'll take the time to go to your place tonight. See you at the same place." Badakin responded respectfully, "Yes, thank you, Master." The other party hung up the phone directly, and Dakin also sat on the bed with a depressed look. Then, he murmured to himself again, "Master actually doubted that little girl. She didn't look like a monk at all. She didn't have the aura of a monk at all. If it was really her who had done it, I should have done it no matter what. Sensing is the right thing." Shen Tianxing used a ray of consciousness to continue monitoring Dakin's movements. She then said to Shen Tianzi, "Second brother, Dakin will meet with his master in the evening. I have to go back first. Later, I will come back and keep an eye on Dakin. I have a way to prevent others from finding out. As for you, just do whatever you have to do. No matter what happens to Badakin, you will pretend not to know, do you understand?" Shen Tianzi nodded, "I understand." Shen Tianxing raised a big smile at him, "Then I'm leaving." Shen Tianzi smiled lightly and said, "Then I will take you out." Shen Tianxing did not reject his kindness and said with a smile, "Okay." Shen Tianzi still drove Shen Tianxing to a remote and unmonitored area. Shen Tianxing asked Shen Tianzi to let her down and let him drive back alone. Shen Tianzi was worried about her and asked her again and again, "Xiao Xing, are you really sure it's safe?" Shen Tianxing nodded affirmatively and smiled, "Second brother, it's really safe. You should know how high my cultivation level is. If I can't even handle Dakin and his master, then I don't have to live anymore." Shen Tianzi warned her again, "If anything happens, call me immediately, you know." Looking at his second brother who had become a mother-in-law, Shen Tianxing said helplessly, "I know, second brother, please leave quickly. I really will be fine." Shen Tianzi asked again, "Then I'm really leaving." Shen Tianxing waved at him, let's go, hurry up, let's go." Seeing her shooing him away like a fly, Shen Tianzi shook his head helplessly, "Okay, I'm leaving. Remember to pay attention to safety. Know it?" After hearing Shen Tianxing's loud reply, Shen Tianzi finally drove back to his unit. Shen Tianxing took out an invisibility charm and patted it on her body, and her figure disappeared instantly. She directly used the magic of shrinking to an inch, and in the blink of an eye, she returned to the army, found Badakin's dormitory, and lurked invisibly on his balcony. At 8 o'clock in the evening, Badakin finally went out. Shen Tianxing found that he did not go outside the army, but quickly walked towards the back hill inside the army. There is a dense grove in the back mountain, which is a good place for a secret meeting. Every time Batacan's master asked him to meet, he chose this place, and he had never been encountered before. However, this time, when they met Shen Tianxing, their good luck was destined to come to an end. After Batacan arrived in the grove, he made 3 long and 2 short bird calls. As soon as his voice fell, an old man wearing a black robe and a black hooded cloak suddenly appeared in front of Batacan. Batacan seemed to be accustomed to his master's appearance. He was not afraid, but went up to the master to salute him as usual. "Disciple, see the master." The hoarse voice of the black-robed Xiadao sounded, "Come forward and let me see what's going on." "Yes." Batacan obediently walked up to the black-robed Xiadao and let him place his big palm on his head. After a while, Batacan heard his master's hoarse voice again, "Your luck-gathering formation has been blocked. The person who is dealing with you can do this without you knowing it. He is definitely a master of the world." Batacan's heart skipped a beat and he couldn't help but ask, "Master, who is more powerful between you and this person?" You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dominating the Powerful Families, Rebirth of the Strongest Divinator. Author, Long Juyu. Chapter 209. The black-robed Xiadao didn't want to admit that he was inferior to others, so he just snorted, "You can only know who is more powerful by fighting against each other." At this moment, Shen Tianxing's consciousness broke into his mind directly, and before he had time to react, it read his memory in a domineering and powerful way. Shen Tianxing did not pity him. This direct reading method would directly damage the other person's brain. After she reads the memory of this evil man in black robe, at least his brain will be destroyed and he will become an idiot. At worst, he will die directly and there will be no chance for him to do evil again. When the black-robed evil spirit felt that his brain was being attacked, a strong sense of danger and the will to survive surged up, making him desperately want to resist and break free from the shackles of Shen Tianxing's consciousness. It's a pity that he is just an evil cultivator at the 9th level of Qi refining stage, and has not even reached the foundation building stage. Compared with Shen Tianxing, who is already a pill-forming monk, his strength is 2 big realms apart, just like an ant versus an elephant, too weak. Originally, he wanted to use Batacan and others to help him absorb luck to achieve the purpose of upgrading, but he didn't know that he died before he was ready. He had no ability to resist Shen Tianxing's strong attack, and while wailing in pain, Shen Tianxing read out his memory. When dealing with such ferocious evil monks, Shen Tianxing never talks nonsense. If he can attack directly, he will kill them with one move. Fortunately, Shen Tianxing had set up a barrier early in the morning, otherwise, if his shrill and painful wails were heard, it would definitely alarm the entire army. Batacan, who was at the scene, watched his master talking to him, then suddenly fell down with a wailing look on his face in pain. He was so frightened that he rushed forward to help his master up. However, the black-robed evil man swung him away hard and threw him to the ground. The pain was so painful that he couldn't get up for a long time. It didn't take long for the black-robed Xiadao's eyes to widen with a look of death. Just when Batacan was about to crawl over and take a look, he saw the black-robed Xiadao's body suddenly burst into flames. In the blink of an eye, the black-robed evil body turned into ashes. From beginning to end, Batacan didn't see anyone appear. These strange scenes frightened Batacan to the point where he hurriedly knelt down and kowtowed vigorously, "Please forgive me, please forgive me. I don't dare to do it anymore. I don't dare to do it anymore." Unfortunately, even after he shouted for a long time, no one responded to his words. He looked left and right, but still couldn't see a single figure. Batacan began to doubt himself again. Had he guessed wrong? Is it because there is no one else at the scene and there is something wrong with the master's own practice that causes such a strange thing to happen? After a while, Vatican saw that no one was attacking him, so he quickly got up, staggered, and ran towards his dormitory. Shen Tianxing, who had been standing invisible and watching Vatican's reaction, also had a sneer on his lips. Your death is coming soon. If Black Robe Evil is dead, B.A. Dakin's brain will be backfired by the formation in 3 days and he will become an idiot. After dealing with these two people, Shen Tianxing's heart did not fall. In the memory of Hippeosiadeo, she discovered that not only did he use B.A. Dakin as a chess piece to help him absorb luck, he also set up luck-gathering formations on college students from 3 other universities. If these luck-gathering formations are not broken, then those people with the luck-gathering formations on their bodies and those around them will end up miserable. The people who can be chosen by the black-robed evil to make cauldrons to arrange the fortune-gathering array are all people with evil intentions. They have strong ambitions, but they refuse to take the right path. They only want to take shortcuts and achieve quick success. As a result, they lead themselves to the abyss of destruction. If the luck-gathering formation set up by the evil Black Robe had affected Shen Tianzi this time, Shen Tianxing would never have discovered his evil conspiracy. The result that Hippeosiadeo and B.A. Dakin have reached now can only be said to be, the Skynet is vast, sparse, and not leaking. Shen Tianxing followed the black-robed evil memory and went straight to the capital university where his first college student was. This Peking University student is named Li Chenguang and is a freshman. When Shen Tianxing found him, Li Chenguang was happily eating supper at the snack street outside the school with several of his roommates, congratulating him on winning a small prize of tens of thousands of yuan in lottery tickets today. Ever since his master placed a luck-gathering array on his body, Li Chenguang felt that his luck was particularly good, and no matter what he did, everything would go smoothly. Look at now, you can win tens of thousands of dollars just by buying a lottery ticket. Such a good thing would never happen to an unlucky guy like him before. He was very happy and felt that following the evil ways in black robes was the right decision. Li Chenguang never thought that this luck was not his, but something he had taken from others with the help of the luck-gathering formation. He himself was fine, but because of him, the good lives of others were ruined by him. Moreover, Li Chenguang didn't know that his good fortune was only temporary. When the luck-gathering array on his body was full, the black-robed evil would transfer all the energy to himself, and the energy of his furnace cauldron luck will also hit rock bottom. But now that the black-robed evil has been destroyed by Shen Tianxing, Li Chenguang has to pay the price for what he did. Shen Tianxing also did not show his body, but directly concealed himself, and cast a spell on Li Chenguang, disintegrating the luck-gathering formation on his body. As soon as the luck-gathering formation dissipated, Li Chenguang suffered a backlash. He felt his brain stinging, and couldn't help holding his head and screaming, "My head hurts so much, it hurts so much." And the luck originally collected in him slowly returned to the original owner. Several roommates who had late-night snacks with Li Chenguang saw him rolling on the ground in pain and quickly helped him up and sent him to the hospital. In the end, the hospital concluded that his brain was damaged and he was mentally disturbed. Unless a miracle occurred, he would never recover in the future. The school had no choice but to send Li Chenguang back to his home, and compensated his family with a sum of money. This incident was dismissed. The other 2 classmates who had been set up with fortune-gathering formations were also found by Shen Tianxing, and their fate was the same as Li Chenguang's. 3 days later, when B.A. Dakin's luck-gathering formation was disintegrated, he was doing high-altitude training when he felt a stabbing pain in his brain, and he fell from the high altitude, and was killed directly. Except for Shen Tianzi, who knew it well, everyone thought that B.A. Dakin's death was an accident. Afterwards, Shen Tianzi received a text message from Shen Tianxing, which contained only a few words representing warmth and care. "Second brother, it's okay. Dominating the powerful families, rebirth of the strongest Divinator." Author, Long Juyu. Chapter 210. Shen Tianzi's heart was filled with turmoil as he looked at these simple words that meant as much affection to him as 1,000 pounds. He thought for a long time before sending a text message back to Shen Tianxing. Xiao Xing, my second brother's life will be yours from now on. If you need anything, just say a word and my second brother will die for you. Shen Tianxing smiled when she saw the text message sent back by her second brother, and then sent a few more words. Okay, I understand. She understands how her second brother and other brothers feel about her. They will protect her at all costs when she is in danger. She, too, will do her best to protect them when they are in danger. After the second brother's matter was settled, Shen Tianxing sent a message to Shen Tianbo, second brother is fine here. Shen Tianbo, who had always remembered this incident, finally felt relieved after receiving the text message from Shen Tianbo. Shen Tianxing did not encourage her second cousin Shen Tianzi to get married. When she thought about it, her second cousin was still young. He would only be 26 years old after the Chinese New Year. Now was the period when his career was on the rise. Even if he planned to get married a year or two later, it would be too late. Not too late. The eldest aunt now has an eldest brother. In a month, the good news of her eldest sister-in-law's pregnancy should come out. The eldest aunt will soon have a grandson to hold, so she shouldn't be so anxious to rush her second brother to get married. Shen Tianxing secretly lamented that it is not easy to be a parent. From childhood to adulthood, you have to worry about your children. After worrying about this, you have to worry about that. After worrying about your son, you have to worry about your grandson. You have endless worries throughout your life. After coming to the capital this time to settle the matter with his second brother, Shen Tianxing also took out the refined health pills and the set of beauty and skincare products, and asked old Madame Dugu to help give them to the nobles in the royal compound. Women. Shen Tianxing also thoughtfully prepared a set of beauty and skincare products for Dugu Xixi's 3 aunts and 2 cousins. Mrs. Dugu became even more satisfied and fond of Shen Tianxing when she saw how considerate and careful she was. Of course, Mrs. Dugu didn't treat Shen Tianxing badly. Although she didn't give money like others, she gave Shen Tianxing a set of jade jewelry worth several million, saying it was a gift for her, the eldest grandson's daughter-in-law. Shen Tianxing couldn't refuse the offer, so he had no choice but to accept it. The beauty and skincare products she makes are not just effective. Just a week later, all the ladies who used her products looked completely different, looking at least 10 years younger. Especially those ladies who bought the health elixir for internal use, the effect is even better when taken internally and externally. Even the wrinkles on their skin are almost invisible. Each of these noble ladies was extremely happy. When they saw Mrs. Dugu, they thanked her profusely. They also expected to buy from Shen Tianxing in the future after using up the skincare products they bought this time. For people like them, as long as they spend a little money, they can buy back their youth and health, which is a great deal. Dugu Xixi's eldest aunt Dugu Junmei, as a strong woman who has been in charge of the Dugu family business for many years, was immediately shocked by the amazing effect after using Shen Tianxing's homemade beauty products. Dugu Junmei has used all the famous brand beauty and skincare products produced by Chinese and Western countries, and the price is as high as tens of thousands, or even more than 100 or 200,000 for limited editions. But there has never been a product that can reach the beauty and skincare level of Shen Tianxing. This is an astonishing effect that is as obvious as a rebirth. As a strong woman, Dugu Junmei instantly saw the business opportunities hidden behind this beauty and skincare product. Once such a super effective product is promoted, it will definitely make women all over the world go crazy for it. Dugu Junmei's character has always been resolute, and she will do whatever she thinks of immediately. Of course, this matter involves Shen Tianxing, and Dugu Junmei knows that Shen Tianxing is now the darling of her old man and old lady. Even if she wanted to develop cooperative beauty and skincare products with Shen Tianxing, she had to talk to the old man and the old lady about this first. Dugu Junmi I returned to the royal compound that night and discussed the matter with the old man and the old lady. Mr. Dugu said in a deep voice, "This is indeed a good project, but you have to ask for Xiaoxing's consent. Moreover, you also need to see if the products she made can be produced in reality. You have to know, something she made with her own hands, and something produced by a machine, are two different things." Dugu Junmi I replied in a deep voice, "I have thought about all this. Dad, as long as you agree that I will cooperate with Tianxing, we will definitely discuss these details. Don't worry, you two, I will never let Tianxing suffer. In this project, as long as Tianxing is willing to take action, it will be fine if she is 6 or 4 of us, or 7 or 3. Mr. Dugu nodded, "Then you go talk to Tianxing. I'm warning you, don't use your status as an elder to pressure others. Otherwise, even if you are my daughter, I won't be able to spare you." Dugu Junmi I smiled angrily and said, "Dad, don't you know my character? Am I the kind of person who bullies others? Don't worry, I know how important the little fairy's position is in our family. As long as you please her, you will never offend her." Mr. Dugu snorted softly, "It's good that you know." Mrs. Dugu smiled on the side and said, "Ame, your dad is a sharp-tongued man with a sharp mouth and a soft heart. He has been talking like this all his life. Don't be angry with your dad." Dugu Junmi I laughed softly and said, "Mom, I am already middle-aged, how can I not understand you and Dad? I understand everything you say." Mrs. Dugu also smiled and said, "That's good. Seeing that you siblings are all promising, your dad and I are always proud of you, and also proud of you children. In this life, your dad and I are no regrets." When Dugu Junmi I heard what the old lady said without regrets, she immediately said unhappily, "Mom, the good life of you and my dad has just begun, and the days to come will only be better and more complete. You two elders, just wait until Zixi and Xiaoxing give you a grandson to hold and play with." When old Madame Dugu heard Dugu Junmi I mentioning Zixi and Tianxing, she immediately patted the stool and said, "Oh, when it comes to this matter, your dad and I are really looking forward to it, but it's a pity that they are both still too young, otherwise, I really hope they will get married tomorrow and give us a big fat great-grandson as soon as possible, so that we can play around and be happy." Mr. Dugu hummed to the side and said, "Old lady, what are you in a hurry? Xiaoxing has already said that we will live a long life, and we still have several decades to live. Not to mention the great-grandson, even the great-grandson, we can do it too. You can see that by then, our Dugu family will definitely be full of descendants, ha 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 ha."